Hey guys, Big J here, and today we're talking rules changes. Supercoach has opened, and there's some new things happening. The AFL has decided, mate, we're going to go and put in round zero. We're going to give half the teams a bye. Well, not half, about six teams a bye in the early part of the season. What does that mean for us in Supercoach? What is the Herald Sun and their affiliates going to do in terms of the rules? So we're going to have a look at those today. Before we get started, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. We're trying to grow the channel double during the preseason if we can. So if you like the content, let us know. Just looking at the proposed rules for this year. So the AFL will begin the season in round one. We know that there's a few teams playing in round zero, but they won't count towards our Supercoach scores, which is fantastic. What that does mean, though, and what they are going to do, is they are going to, if we have a look down here, what that means is that the opening round is still going to count for the price changes. So let's presume that, hey, look, Sydney's playing. Means those Sydney players, instead of round three, the Sydney players in round two are now going to get a price increase instead. So it's going to change a little bit. It's really going to punish us if we don't jump on those cash cows early. Yes, we still get a couple of weeks of being able to change players around, but because we get the chance to actually look at six teams worth of players, we get to kind of decide what's going to happen. Let's run through the top. Yes, so until the start of round one, like it was normally last year, we can chop and change players, even though some players have technically played. I'm pretty sure AFL Fantasy is doing a similar thing. And I'm grateful that they're doing something like this as well for Supercoach. Really keeps things uniform, and I think it actually helps to make the game better that way. Every year is different. We saw with boosts coming in, we saw with extra trades last year. This year is going to be similar. Hopefully, they get rid of this nonsense in 2025, but we all love this game, and this is what we have to deal with at the moment. I think a lot of people may pick players from these rounds, but also might try and stick away. They might have one or two players, but if you go two or three players, as we'll look next when the buy rounds come up, you might end up missing a few players around. So Supercoach Gold players, you guys get access to the live scores. Not that it matters too much. So round one is going to be the same for everyone. Everyone has round one. Cool. Round two is when the buys really start happening. And it's going to be a bit tricky for us owners. We'll have a look next as to which players are going to be involved in those buys and which ones aren't. And we'll have a bit of a chat about that. It is best 18 scoring, so you can get away with a few things. Hopefully, you can manage your teams so you don't have to spend a lot of trades early in this point in time, because it might end up getting you a bit ahead for the later half of the seasons. And as we say, similar to Supercoach last year, when it opens in January for everyone that doesn't have gold, they're going to go through and potentially change a couple of things. Let us know how many trades we've got, how many boosts we've got. So it's all speculative at the moment. But I just thought, hey, it'd be great to put out a video just to try and talk about this as we start to plan for our teams and plan ahead for the season. Us gold lovers, we start in December. Everyone else will start in January. Let's kind of have a look at the buys, and we'll see what's up there. So round zero, there's a lot of teams that don't have a buy. We've got Adelaide, Bombers, Freo, Geelong, Hawthorn, the Roos, Port Adelaide, St Kilda, West Coast, and Western Bulldogs. So what I mean by don't have the buy means they're not playing. That's basically just what I mean. Round one, everyone's fine. Round two is when the teams who were playing in round zero now start to have weeks off, which is where it kind of gets a bit tricky. So round two, Brisbane and Carlton are playing. Sorry, they have the bye. Round three, Gold Coast and GWS have the bye. Round four, everyone's peachy, no worries. Round five, Collingwood and Sydney. Round six is where Melbourne and Richmond. So the last of the teams. So potentially, if you have a look at it here, no one plays. Everyone plays. So best 22. Hey, look. Best 18. Best 18. Best 22. Best 18. Best 18. What this means is that for the first 6 rounds, out of 4 of them, we basically have captaincy loopholes. So try and make sure that you've got one player from either of the teams that have a buy round so you can get a free captaincy loophole. If you looked at my team review, my team video that just came out, I did have a bit of a chat about why it was important to try and have a playing R3. Because if you've got someone, say, Jordan Sweet plays early, he could go all the way through here, play as the R2. You kind of get cover for Grundy, for Gorn, for basically most of the good rucks. It's not English. Yeah, you're laughing. Round 7 change. A big change that people really aren't talking about either is the fact that the DPP changes happen in round 7 as well. So some players might have the week off here, and you can kind of guarantee and plan ahead. Cool. Let's say Petrarca's been playing forward for all of these games. You can plan around and with the price raises, get a free shot at it come round 7. So just something a bit sneaky to kind of plan ahead during the season. But we'll talk about that then. We just have a quick look at the normal buys. Round 12, it's okay. No worries. Round 13 is the buy that everyone needs to really have a look at. Freo and Port Adelaide players. So, yes, everyone else is playing, which is great. But if you can start loading up on these players, you've got your Andy Brayshaws, Sarong, Connor Rosie, Butters, potentially a Ruckman or two in there as well. So, it's the time. Start building your teams with those clubs in mind because it's really going to save you. It's another season where we've got 4 weeks of buys, which is, 50-50 in my opinion. Round 14 is going to be a tough one. I think round 15 is going to be even harder. There's going to be a few rookies in round 13 to 14 that we can start to offload, your Harley Reeds and whatnot. But round 15 is a really tricky one. You've got Dawson, Laird, all of those players. You've got a few players like your Nick Dacos in there. You've got your Sicily's in there as well. So there's 2 backline players. Not really so many players from Richmond, which is fine. St Kilda, if you've got a Sinclair or a Jack Steele in the second half of the season. And then all the Dogs players as well. So you could really be hit with 5 or 6 premiums out there. It's going to hurt, but same with Supercoach and everything else. Plan ahead. As I said in the start of this episode, it's all speculative at the moment because they may come in and change some things at the end of January when Supercoach opens for everyone else. But at the moment, it's just good to get that content out there. Have a think, have a look. Hey, do you like these rules? Do I not? Do I need to start planning ahead? Should I try and stack my players full of one team? Or, if you can toss up between this guy or this guy, do they have the best buy round? Or are they even playing in the first 7 weeks or not? Because it could be a big difference. You really don't want to end up with one of those teams that has 2 or 3 premiums out in some of the early weeks because you could be losing, say, $1 million on the bench. It's a really tough thing to think about and something to really consider, especially those teams that potentially you're running 2 rucks of the same week. It's a lot of money to miss. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. It's only early, it's December, but we're pumping out all the content. Tell your friends, remember, here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so you don't have to. Bye for now.